उनकी भी ये उधर कर लो, ठीक हो जाएगा। कर लो टर्न अराउंड
तैरेगा तैरेगा, ये ऐसा तैरेगा, ये ऐसे तैरेगा। हाँ मैडम ये पहले बता दिया हाथ पोंछ ले
मम्मा को देख ले पहले।
पहले मैं
कर दिए अपने वहाँ पे
ये रोना के पापा देखिए पानी खेल रहा है पूरा
माइक्रोवेव में
आ रहे हैं पानी से
रोना के पापा इधर आइए पानी
मामा आया क्या वीडियो ऑफ कीजिए ये ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ
वेलकम टू सैटरडे एक्टिविटी Please mute your devices, children. There is a lot of disturbance in the class. Can you please mute yourselves, everybody? टीचर के तरफ देखना टीचर बोलेंगे तब टीचर शीट को देंगे
कहाँ से कहाँ
इधर ही आता अरे तो फ्रेंड है अरे लेफ्ट पकड़
मम्मी को
Okay, children, welcome to Saturday Activity Club. I hope you guys are doing great at your places, and I'm back with another fun-filled session for you all. So today we are going to have an experiment which is called sink and float. So do you know what does sink mean? Does anybody know what's the meaning of sink and float? So today we are going to talk about these two terms, which is sink and float. Sink means पानी के अंदर डूब जाना, okay? And float means पानी के ऊपर तैरना. All right. So when anything stays on the top of the water, it is called floating, okay? And if something gets deep down in the water, it means it is sinking, okay? So it's a very beautiful experiment by which you all can learn the concept of heavy and light as well, okay? So we will be using a utensil or a small tub filled with water, okay? Anything, any utensil you can use, you can fill it with water so that we can see what's happening when we add different objects in water, okay? Through this, we are going to learn the concept of sinking and floating.
जाएगी वीडियो कहाँ जा रही
इसमें नहीं आएगा हम जाएंगे नहीं आएंगे
अब मैं बैक कैमरे ऑन कर रहा हूँ बैक दिख रहा है मेरी टर्न दिख रही है मेरा 2 वर्ष
Okay, so let's get ready. We can use as many objects as we have at home with us, okay? So we can have flower, a real flower, leaf, okay? Pencil, spoon, a pen. I'm having rubber, okay? Small objects you can take, and we'll be testing what happens when we dip them in water, when we drop each one of them in water, okay? So first of all, let's start with the flower. So let's drop it in water.
Yeah.
Can you please spotlight my video for everyone? Okay, so this is my utensil in which there is water. Okay, I hope it is clear to you all. The water level is this. So I've dropped a flower in water. Now see children, where is the flower? It is on the top, right? It is over water. That means it is floating. So we have learned that flower floats. Repeat after me. A flower floats in water. Okay. Now let's try a spoon. And we will drop it in water. 1, 2, 3. What do you see? The spoon is at the bottom of this utensil, right? That means that the spoon sinks in water. Okay, sink means डूब जाना. So that means ये जो spoon है, ये water में डूब गया है. It is sinking, right? It is at the base of our utensil. Okay, so spoon sink. Now let's try something else. I have a leaf. Let's drop it in the water. So the leaf is floating in the water. Why? Because it is on the top of water. Okay? Look, flower and leaf is floating in water, but the spoon is not floating on the top. Why is it so? We will get to know about this. Now let's add a pencil. 1, 2, 3. Where is the pencil? Push it inside. It is again not going down. Push it again. It is coming on top. That means the pencil floats in water. The pencil floats in water. Okay? Even if we are pushing it again and again, it is coming on the topmost surface of the water. That means it is floating in water. Now I have a piece of stone. Let's drop it. 1, 2, 3. Look, the stone also went down in water. Can you see? It is at the base. Spoon is also at the base of water. That means a stone sink in water. Isn't it amazing and quite interesting that some of the items, they are floating on the top, but some of the items are settled down at the base of our utensil? Have you ever wondered why is it so? Why does it happen? But don't worry, ma'am is having the answer for this. Okay, let's continue. I have a pin with me. I'll try to drop it. Can you see where is the pin that I have dropped? On the top or in the bottom? Yes, it is in the bottom. That means the pin sink. Okay. Now I would want all of you to drop in few more items, small items according to the size of your utensil inside water and experience what happens, whether they are floating or they are sinking. Okay. We can use different objects for doing the same thing. Now, let's take an eraser. You can use different objects as well. Don't worry if you're not having eraser. You can use something else. Try to add few more items in water and notice what is happening. Is it floating or is it sinking? 1, 2, 3. Ah, where is the rubber? Where is eraser? Is it on top or at the bottom? Bottom? Yes, that means an eraser sink, right? Sink. Repeat after me, sink. Now, I have one more thing. A paintbrush. A paintbrush. Let's try what happens when we drop a paintbrush in water. 1, 2, and 3. Look, where is the paintbrush? It is on the top of water. That means it is floating in water. Now press it down. Again, it is coming up. I'll press it again, but it is still floating. Okay, so a paintbrush floats in water. All these objects are different in shape and sizes, but still some of them are floating on water and some of them are not floating. That means they are sinking. Now I have an artificial flower. It is not the real one. Let's check if it can also float like the real flower or not. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. This flower is made of cloth, but still it is floating on the water. I'm dipping it, but still it is coming back again. Dipping it twice, thrice, but again it is floating. So children, can you see the difference? Whatever thing is on the top, that means it is floating. It floats, okay? And the items that are on the base of the utensil sink. What we call it? Sink. What is the term? Sink. Say sink. Now you can add few more objects of your own choice into your utensil and see whether it sinks or whether it floats. Okay? So that was all about sink and float. But now you must be wondering the science behind it. Why does that happen? Right? Because everything is different, everything is of different size, different shape, but still some of them are under the water and some of them are over the water. So the science behind today's experiment is objects sink or float in water based on their weight compared to the water they displace. That means that sink is heavy objects like stone sink because they are heavier than water. Float, light objects like rubber float because they are lighter than water. Okay, so children, that means any object which is heavier than water will sink. Okay, जो भी object water से भारी होगा वो sink हो जाएगा. All right, and the light objects will always float. Okay, so this is the phenomena behind sink and float. That means, just have a look, the eraser, the spoon that is on the bottom of the container is heavier than water. Okay, the spoon and this eraser is heavier than water. That is why it is sinking. Okay, that's why it sinks. But flower, this paintbrush, this pencil, this real flower, and this leaf is lighter than water. Okay, it is lighter than water. That is why it is floating. So now, whenever you see anything floating on the top of water, you know that it is lighter than water. That is why the paper boats that we make, they float in water. Okay, Alman? All right. That was the concept of sink and float. I hope you guys liked it. Yes or no? Show me a thumbs up. Yes. You can add, now it's time for you to drop in your fruit, okay? The fruit that you are having, any fruit. Now drop it in water and see what's happening. Is it sinking or is it floating? I'll be seeing in my screen that how you guys are experiencing through this activity. Now tell me, if it floats, give me a thumbs up. If it sinks, give me a thumbs down. Okay? Give me a thumbs up if your fruit is floating. Okay. Ronak, Advik, Piyush. So many thumbs up I can see. So your fruit is floating. That's perfect. Now it's time for a ball take a ball and drop it in the water. Let's see if ball sinks or it floats. It floats. Yes. Look, children, there are different types of balls. A rubber ball will obviously float, and I can see that all your balls are floating in the water right now. Okay? But at the same time, if the ball is heavier than water, it will not float. It will sink. Okay? So that's how we differentiate these two terms, sink and float. Sink and float. So I hope today's session was helpful for all of you and we all together learned sink and float concept. Now give me a thumbs up if you guys had a great time today. Yes? All right. So thank you so much for joining the class today. I'll be back next week with another fun-filled session for you all. By the time, keep on experimenting and keep on learning new things. Thank you. Have a happy weekend.